Hello, I'm Gustavo Senosiain. This is my individual report video, and let's start. The first thing we're going to cover is the elaboration process of the problem situation. And let's say we had three phases. In the phase one, we first defined our proposal. Fortunately, one of our team members has a restaurant, and we drew upon his restaurant. So we defined what the foods would be, where it would be located, and what type of restaurant it would be. And we also made a project charter. For phase two, we recollected the initial information from this restaurant, and we started the Excel document by calculating the cash flows, NPV, and IRR. And next, for phase three, we finalized our Excel document, including the sensibility and scenario analysis. And on this, we based our final report and recording of our pitch video. Now the question is, do I find our proposal financially viable? Is it realistic? Yes. Is it risky? Yes, very risky. And here's why. Just a small 15% increase in variable cost leads to a minus 800 decrease in MPV. So I don't think it's that viable. And I have to say, we're only earning $200 per month with this project. I don't think it's very viable. Now, looking at the worst case scenario, does this opinion change? Not really, just gets reinforced. And here's why. By some small things going the wrong way, as you can see here, a decrease in sales price and an increase in variable costs, and also a decrease in growth rate and unit sales would lead to gigantic losses. In this case, minus $74,000. So it's very risky. I don't think it's that viable, to be honest. Now, what do I propose for increasing the profitability of our business? Well, looking at the sensitivity table, we can see that the variable that is most sensitive is the growth rate, and the next one is sales price, and then variable cost per unit. So my proposals would be first to reduce our variable cost per unit because this is way more under our control than the sales price, and also to increment our growth rate in units sold. So increase our units sold each month. Those two aspects are very under our control, per se. And then, what are some solid aspects in our proposal? Well, first, I've got to say that our data comes from a real restaurant, so it's quite realistic. Also, we included realistic growth rates, and the whole system is quite complex and interconnected. So, as a viewer, you can just change some small things and you could see the results everywhere else. What aspects could be included to improve our proposal? Where I think one huge aspect could make a huge difference, and that would be the ability to choose when does the growth rate apply. Because why? It's not realistic to assume that the whole 5 years, a 2% increase will be stable, and every single month we would increase our sales to 2% every month. So that's not realistic and that's delusional. So the ability to choose when do sales increase and when do they decrease would make it way more realistic. So that's what I propose that should be added. Next, the question is, what's the relationship between MPV and the cost of capital? First, let's define the cost of capital as WACC, and this is represented by a percentage or rate. So why does this, what's the relationship? It's a directly inverse relationship. As you can see here, when the WACC decreases, the MPV increases. And why is this? Well, the short answer, time value of money. The mathematical answer, to calculate the MPV, there's a formula that uses the cost of capital, in this case, WACC, as a rate or percentage. And as this divides something, the lower this number is or rate is, the bigger the end result is. So that's why the MPV increases when the WACC decreases. And at last, how did we organize as a team? Well, the truth is I did the whole Excel document with the help of the information of my teammates. But yes, that's the truth. For the final report, then, to be honest, Arturo, Felix, and Mariela did almost everything, if not everything. I just supervised and gave them some tips and maybe added some little small things. But for the pitch presentation, me and Arturo worked on it and everybody recorded their part. So that would be everything. Thank you.